Those of us teachers of a certain age remember that awesome feeling of walking into a classroom and seeing that cart with the VCR on the shelf and the TV strapped to the top. Since that time, the technology has definitely changed, but the excitement of movie day is still there. It's one thing to read or listen to a lecture, but movies are a great opportunity for us to see the concept or the topic in action as part of an engaging story with plot, antagonist, protagonist, conflict, all that good stuff that makes for an award-winning movie, one that is worthy of showing in your classroom. I highly recommend the movie Pirates of Silicon Valley. It's a 1999 made-for-TV movie that brilliantly captures how Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak of Apple, along with Bill Gates, Paul Allen, and Steve Ballmer of Microsoft, totally revolutionized the personal computing industry in the late 1970s and early 1980s. Overall, this film does offer a fairly accurate and engaging portrayal of the iconic rivalry that existed between Apple and Microsoft. It's a perfect example of blue ocean strategy in action. This movie provokes engaging classroom discussions. Have your students analyze the following: how Apple and Microsoft identified non-customers, people who didn't yet see a need for a personal computer, and then have them evaluate how they created that new value to attract these customers. Also have your students analyze how the computer industry was a red ocean at the time of Microsoft and Apple's entry, how there was cutthroat competition, and how these companies created their own blue oceans by redefining the market. There are several key lessons to take away from this film. Missed opportunities due to red ocean thinking. So HP, Hewlett-Packard, IBM, and Xerox, despite being industry giants, they let billions of dollars slip through their hands. These scenes in the movie always spark great discussion among my students. So make sure you press pause and have those discussions with your class. Another great takeaway is negotiation and knowing your worth. Microsoft made the bold move to sell an operating system to IBM before they even had one secured. Later, Microsoft acquired an operating system for a measly sum, considering the unprecedented value it brought to Microsoft and Bill Gates. The takeaway for students: know your value, do your research, and be cautious of the first offer. Students are often shocked by the depiction of a young Steve Jobs. While brilliant, he's also deeply flawed, and at times toxic during his first stint at Apple. One student even asked, what was Steve Jobs' reaction to the movie? So I did look this up because I was unsure myself, and it turns out his response was mixed, but overall he believed it to be fair and accurate. He even invited the actor that played him, Noah Wiley, to appear at an Apple event and pretend to be him. What's interesting is this movie debuted in 1999, so at this time Apple is still rebuilding after years of struggle without that blue ocean thinking that Steve Jobs brought. So I remind my students that this takes place during a time that I remember when Apple was not the industry leader. And that's something that's hard for students today to imagine because of all the success that Apple has had over the last 25 years. Pirates of Silicon Valley isn't just a tech history movie. It's a case study in vision, strategy, innovation, and leadership. It shows how a few ambitious thinkers didn't just exist in a market. They created a new one. They created a blue ocean. It is an award-winning example of what blue ocean strategy should be. Thanks for watching. Blue oceans ahead.